Number 21. I'm going to write that as a fraction, so it's 1 over 1,000 to the minus 2/3. Minus means 1 over. 1 over a fraction, same as turning it upside down, so that becomes 1,000 over 1 to the power of 2/3. The bottom of your fraction tells you the root, so it's the third root of 1,000, and then square it, because the top of your fractions is squared. The third root of 1,000 is 10, and 10 squared is 100. Some very, very tricky examples in there. Again, we're still working on T4 material here. Root of 60 equals 60 to the power of what? I could write that as the power of a half, so the answer is a half. This one here, I could write that as a power of a half, so that's 5 to the half to the power of 7 equals 5 to the what? Power to power means multiply, so your answer is a half of 7. You write that as 3.5 or just 7 over 2, whatever way you want. This one here, fixing this bit up. So 1 over the bottom of your fraction, or the root is 3, so that's going to be the power of a third. You want to up your 6 up ordinarily, so just move this up with a minus index in front of it. So the power of your 6 is minus a third. Very tricky. Another very tricky one in here is 16. That's 2 to the power of 4. I would rewrite that 1 1/4 as 5 over 4. 8 is the same as 2 cubed times minus 2/3. 5 over 4 to the power of 4 times them out gives you 2 to the 5. The 4's cancel off. Timesing these ones up, 3 times 2 over 3 gives you 2 to the minus 2. Multiplying numbers, add the powers. 5 add minus 2, 5 take away 2 is 3, and that's you. And number 26, 4 can be written as 2 squared to the power of 5 over 2. 16 can be written as 2 to the power of 4 to the power of a third. Divided by 4 can be written as 2 squared to the power of a 6. Now tidying that up a wee bit. Power to power means multiply, so that first one becomes 2 to the 5. Power to power means multiply, so it's 4 over 3. Power to power means multiply, so it becomes 2 6 or 1/3. That should be a 2 in there. Going to divide these here because it's easier to do. 4/3, take away a third because you subtract the powers, gives me 3/3, which is 1. So it becomes 2 to the 5 times 2 to the 1, which is 2 to the 4. And this one here, putting these in increasing order. 6 squared is 36. Minus means 1 over. 1 over 2 to the power of 6 is 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 is 8, times another 2 is 16, times another 2 is 32, times another 2 is 64. 2 to the power of 6 you've just worked out there is 64. That's the square root of 6, and that's 1 over 6 squared, which is 36. Putting them in order. So in order, the smallest one there is obviously your 1/64th, so it's 2 to the minus 6. The next smallest one is your 1/36th, which is 6 to the minus 2. Your next smallest one there is the square root of 6, which is 6 to the half. The next smallest one in there is your 36, which is 6 squared, and the biggest one, 2 to the power of 6. Now, we've got some equations here with indices. These are quite quick, but they are difficult. In this one here, 2 to the x. 32 is 2 to the power of 5, so you can see there x equals 5. In this one here, it's not as simple to see that one, so I'm going to write it out slightly differently. Minus means 1 over x to the 1. Minus means 1 over 3 to the 4. So x equals 3 to the 4, which is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. Another 9 gives you 81. This one here, x to the half is the same as the square root of x equals 4. If I bring this root over and square it, x equals 4 squared, 16. Number 4, hard, very difficult one in here. So it's 2 to the x minus 1. 16 I can write as 2 to the power 4. I could then bring that up as 2 to the minus 4. So it's 2 to the x minus 1 equals 2 to the minus 4. So the bottoms are the same, so the tops have to be the same. So x minus 1 equals minus 4. So that tells me, bring that minus 1 over, add it on, x is minus 3. Number 5 is a similar one, but just not as difficult. 2 to the x plus 4 equals 4 is 2 squared to the power of x. Bottoms the same, tops have to be the same. X plus 4 equals 2x. Bringing that over, you get 2x minus x is 1x equals 4. So x equals 4. Next one, very tricky one here. That could be written as 5 to the minus x. 25 cubed, but you're rooting it, so put it as a fraction. Now, you want these base numbers to be the same, so 5 to the minus 2 equals 5 squared, and writing 25 as 5 squared to the 3 over 2. The base numbers are the same, you can just work with the powers, so it's minus x equals, power to power means multiplies, that becomes 3, so x equals minus 3. These are very hard questions. Example 7. 4x equals, that's 2 to the power of 6 in the bottom. So 2 to the power of 6, the square root tells you it's the power of half. So I can write that as 4x equals 1 over, power to power means multiply, 6 times the half is 3, so 2 to the 3. So basically I have got here 4x equals 1/8. Bring your 4 over and divide. So x equals 8 times 4 is 32, so x equals 1 over 32. Number 8, I could write that as 2 squared times 2 cubed for 8 to the 2x equals 2 to the 1. The base numbers are all the same, I can work with the tops. Power to power means multiplies, that becomes 6x. And then you're multiplying it by this, so you add it. So 2 add 6x equals 1. Rearranging that, you get 6x equals minus 1. So x equals minus 1 over 6. So x equals minus 1 over 6. Number 9, 3 to the x add 4. 27 is the same as 3 cubed to the x. Base numbers are the same, work with the tops. X plus 4 equals, power to power means multiply, it's 3x. Moving that across there, you get 4 equals 2x, so x equals 2. Next one down here, number 10, that's 2 to the minus 2x. 32 is 2 to the power 5. Base numbers are the same, work with the tops. Minus 2x equals 5, so 2x equals minus 5, so x equals minus 5 over 2. For that one in there. Number 11, 8 can be written as 2 cubed to the power of x plus 1 equals 2x. Base numbers are the same, you can work with the powers. Power to power means multiply, so that's 3, x add 1 equals x. So that becomes 3x add 3 equals x. Rearranging that, 2x equals minus 3, so x equals minus 3 over 2. And the last one there of these type, 36 can be written as 6 squared to the 3n. That's 6 to the power 1 on the bottom. If I bring that up, 6 to the minus 1. So if it's 6 equals 6 here, just working with the tops. Power to power means multiply, equals minus 1. Bring that across, minus 1 over 6.